With Real Madrid dropping points in the Champions League in game day 2, we're going to take at the 15-time champions and their upcoming games in the Champions League this season. Remember that the top 8 teams in the Champions League do go through to the knockout stages, and currently Real Madrid are not in that position. They are sitting down in 17th, and behind them are Lille, who managed to get a fantastic result against Real Madrid. And then it's Paris Saint-Germain, Celtic, FC, Glasgow, Scotland, Club Brugge, Feyenoord, Atletico Madrid and PSV sitting in the 24th position. If you finish below 24th position, you then go into the elimination places. But if the teams that do finish between positions 9 and 24, they go through to play another 2 games to see who gets through to the last 16 of the Champions League this season. Real Madrid coming to a shock defeat, absolutely shock defeat against Lille after a late penalty, give the host of enough to set themselves apart. The result has been disastrous, some say, here in Madrid. From the standings point of view, the club have dropped to 17th place, below the likes of Barcelona, Arsenal, Sparta Praha, and AS Monaco. It has caused absolutely waves around Spain, the fact that they see themselves as the current holders of the Champions League, and they have won the Champions League 15 times. There's been many clubs out there that have won the Champions League, but it has to be said that Real Madrid have won it the most. When you look at clubs like Aston Villa, Hamburg, Feyenoord, Red Star Belgrade, Steaua Bucharest, PSV Eindhoven, Celtic, Olympia, Marseille, Borussia Dortmund, Manchester City, they have all won the Champions League one time. And then you get on to teams like Nottingham Forest, believe it or not. Yes, Nottingham Forest have won the Champions League twice. Benfica, Porto, Chelsea and Juventus have also won the Champions League twice. And then you get into the realms of who's won it more than twice. You've got Inter Milan and Manchester United, both stuck on 3 Champions League each. And then Ajax is sitting with 4 Champions League trophies to their name. Barcelona is sitting with 5 Champions League, and Bayern Munich is sitting with 6, along with Liverpool, who, after watching Celtic win the Champions League with the first team in the British Isles, to then watch Manchester United win the Champions League, you have to say that Liverpool have made their own mark in Europe and been pretty dominant when it comes to teams from the United Kingdom that has won the Champions League. AC Milan has won it 7 times, and then we get to the team that calls it their own cup. Yes, Real Madrid have won it 15 times. But with the upcoming games for Real Madrid, we're going to have a look at and see what we think and what we may expect over the coming weeks. Next up is Borussia Dortmund at home. Now, whilst Borussia Dortmund have got off to a fantastic start to their Champions League, they began their campaign in 2024-25 UEFA Champions League with a 3-0 win over Club Brugge before absolutely demolishing Celtic by a scoreline of 7-1 this week. They're on a perfect 6 points after the 2 games with a plus 9 goal difference. The last year's defeated finalists are on a fine run of form in the Champions League, as well as a nice run of form in their league with 3 wins and 1 draw over the 5 games. They're looking in good shape, it has to be said, for going into the next round of the Champions League. This time round, the game will be played in the Santiago Bernabeu, with Real Madrid given the home advantage over this tie. Informed players, however, will make it a difficult night for Real Madrid's defence. From when they look at the Dortmund point of view, they will make it difficult for Real Madrid. The men from Germany want to make sure that they get revenge for last season. They must up their game quickly, Real Madrid, to compete with the one and only Borussia Dortmund. After that, they have AC Milan at home, do Real Madrid. They do play AC Milan at home, and the Real Madrid's up-and-coming Champions League game against AC Milan on Matchday 4 is in early November. Although they've had a torrid time in Europe so far, AC Milan, they've lost both their games in the competition and currently sit 32nd place. AC Milan sit in 32nd place in the Champions League. But you shouldn't look too much into that when it comes to European football, because they do have a pedigree of coming back in the Champions League. Is it just the early new stage format of the Champions League giving top teams a little bit of a fright? Or is it more? Is it a change of power due to the dynamics of the new Champions League setup? They first locked horn against Liverpool, and they lost 3-1 to Liverpool AC Milan before losing on match day 2 to Bayern Leverkusen. Milan's form in Serie A has seen them with 3 wins in 6 games and a goal difference of +7. Pushed well. They really need to get off to a good start, Real Madrid, if they're going to win this game, especially given that they play Club Bruges on match day 3, which will have a massive confidence booster to Milan. And then they play Real Madrid, should I say, play Liverpool away. Now that will be the game. It is a game that reincarnates a Champions League final of just a few years ago. But after taking on Dortmund and AC Milan, Real Madrid must then walk to Anfield and go onto the pitch at Lanfield and face them on match day 5. It will be a fantastic game as a European schedule takes shape. By that time, we will have an inclination who will finish top 8. Remember, the teams in the top 8 go straight to the last 16. And currently, Real Madrid sit in 17th position, which is interesting. Can they climb the table enough to get into the top 8, or will they have to play another 2 games? And will they face the likes of Celtic in those final 2 games? It all makes out for a fantastic new format. I think I'm currently enjoying the way that the new format is. It's a lot better than the old format. It took a bit of getting used to, it has to be said. Tell me your thoughts in the comment section. Can Real Madrid go on to beat Borussia Dortmund, who are flying in the Champions League? Can they win against AC Milan at home? Will that give them the home advantage? Those 2 games, can it give them the home advantage and get them to climb up the table? They know they need at least 17 points to finish in the top 8. They need a minimum of 17 points. They've dropped points already in the Champions League, and then they have Liverpool away. It's going to be a difficult one. It probably couldn't have been a harder group. If this was a group stage game, it would have been a group of death. Early predictions for the UEFA Champions League place a points tally of 17 as a minimum requirement to finish in the top 8. Having already dropped 3 points of a maximum 24, Real Madrid are only fighting for 21 points to finish in that 17th or above position. They can only lose one more game in this stage of the Champions League. Well, finishing outside top 8 might not be the end of the world for the one and only Real Madrid. Let's hope that they have to avoid a lot of people from Madrid and Madrid fans will be hoping that listen, there's a lot of teams in that position for the playoffs. Will be hoping that Madrid do finish and automatically go through, so that they don't have to play the likes of Real Madrid in that final 2 knockout stages. Anyway, it all makes for a fantastic run-in for Real Madrid. They play AC Milan, they play Borussia Dortmund, they play Liverpool. What more could you want? That's what the Champions League is all about. I think they're going to have a difficult time this year.